Blake.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are here at the 2019 Manoa Experience at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Jordan, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. How about you?
I'm feeling awesome. I'm so excited. Today is our first live broadcast. And so it's going to be broadcasting all around on YouTube and all over the world to everybody from 10 a.m. right now to 2 p.m. So if you're not here at the Manoa Experience, get your butt over here because we want to see you at the College of Social Sciences booth. So I'm going to go over to Topher, who is... Hey Topher. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So how are we doing the live stream today?
So we're live streaming through our Snake Studio back in this corner. It's going to YouTube Live, and we have the switcher over here. We're still currently, we have a little bit of bugs in one of the cameras, but we're working through it.
What do you do for the College of Social Sciences?
I help volunteer my time because I'm a Sony representative, and you guys are all using Sony equipment.
Awesome.
All right, and we're here with the Women's Studies. We're here with the Women's Studies booth. We're here to talk to them. All right. Hi, I'm Jordan.
Hi, Jenny.
Jenny.
Penny.
Penny.
Hi, Penny.
Vivian. All right, so I'm just going to ask you guys a couple questions about Women's Studies, and it'll be cool. Yeah. So, what exactly does Women's Studies entail for people who aren't really familiar with Women's Studies?
Women's Studies centers all the stories around women's lives. So we look at history through the stories and the narratives of women who have made an incredible impact on society. We look at art and music and dance. We look at psychology. We look at mathematics, at oceanography, all of these disciplines, right? And we're able to center women's stories and children's stories. And so oftentimes our students are so surprised at all of these incredible women that we meet and we journey with together.
That's beautiful. Do you know what kind of careers people can expect coming into Women's Studies?
Oh man, it's endless. It really is endless. Gender and sexuality is really the hot employment topic and credential that employers are looking for today. Title IX, we've all heard about what's happening with Title IX across the country. So if you have this credential that shows that you have a background in gender and sexuality, it just creates a CV or it creates a resume that is so rich. And employers in any industry, law, medicine, education, all areas, music, art, everything, oceanography are interested in our students who are graduating with critical thinking skills. They're graduating with the ability to write and to speak in public, critically and analytically, and with passion.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for talking to us, and we're going to go see what Blake is up to over there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, hi guys, it's me, Blake, and I'm at the Manoa Experience in the College of Social Sciences booth. There are 12 departments in the college, and so we're gonna just see what they all are. So we have the College of Social Sciences Manoa Academy, and it really just prepares you as a high school student to go into if you already know what your degree is. So you can already get credits before you are actually enrolled at the University of Hawaii. And then we have the Department of Geography. They really help with climate change and the local impact and, the earth and everything that is really affecting Hawaii right now, especially because we're an island. We have the Department of Psychology, critical thinking, and then we also have the Department of Economics. We have the Department of Political Science over here. We have Women's Studies. We have the College of Social Sciences Sociology. And we have the Department of Ethnic Studies. And us here, we are the Journalism and Communications Department. So we're doing all the live streaming here today, and it's been really fun, and We have 1 more hour left here, so if you're watching this right now and you're close, come down here and check out the College of Social Sciences.
Hi, we're here at the Ethnic Studies booth, and I'm here with Monisha. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
That's great. So we're here in front of the Ethnic Studies. I think the appropriate question would be, what is Ethnic Studies?
Yeah, ethnic studies studies the race and ethnic relations in the U.S., in Hawaii, and across the world. So we study how people's ethnic identities develop and also the ways in which the power and politics is organized around race and ethnicity. So one of the distinguishing things about our department is that we engage with our base in Oceania. It's a huge ocean and we are all connected as islands. So we are not remote. We are in many ways the places where cultures thrive and people migrate and indigenous people's struggles are very, very vibrant. So we are also a very engaged department. So our classroom learning doesn't end with sitting in classrooms. We send our students out to very many service learning sites, and Access is right here as partners. We have many, many community partners, including Malama Ina Ahutua. We go to work with the homeless. We go and help students who are in middle school in Kaimuki, as well as any kind of after-school program. All of these are our social justice initiatives, and we engage our students in that.
That's really great. And what kind of careers could you expect out of major in ethnic studies?
Yeah, so most of our students go into either they apply for law school, so they go into law and public policy making. They may work for the legislature, they go to the Manoa political internship program. They go into journalism. They are taught how to write about contemporary and controversial issues through a social justice lens. They also go into education. So we are developing 2 pathways into our own College of Education. One is for education foundations, and the other one is for careers in higher administration in education. So many of our students are actually very interested in those kinds of service organizations. Many go into the School of Social Work to learn to be social workers. There are also many opportunities in the nonprofit world. So 3 of our students are working in unions, in labor unions. They're already actively, sort of engaged and employed in that sector. So there are very many very practical career paths in ethnic studies.
That's really great. And I feel like as a native Hawaiian myself, I feel like ethnic studies is really important to at least know a little bit about it. I feel like, especially here where you're kind of, I feel like you kind of have to. And then, so I'll just thank you again for talking with us, and I hope you have a good time. And now we're going to go to the lake with another interview.
Me, Blake, at the Manoa Experience again, and I'm here with E for the Department of Geography. So, E, what makes you come to the Department of Geography?
Well, we are, geography is an interdisciplinary field. So we offer education programs in 3 main fields, including physical geography to study environment, climate change, and a little bit about geology. And we also offer a stream that teach courses in human geography to study how human and the environment interact at different places. And nowadays, with the development of computer science, GPS, geotechnologies, we also offer education stream in geotechnologies that teach students how to use software, use UAV, and use different equipment to collect geospatial data to do analysis. And in addition to the BA program, we also offer a certificate program in geospatial information science, which will launch in this fall. So in addition to the bachelor degree, the student can take 11 additional credits to get a certificate in GIS, which is very desired in job market. So that's all about our department. Do you have any questions?
So what class do you teach? Any classes? Are you a professor here?
I'm an assistant professor in the department, and I teach most courses in geospatial information science in this field. So including GIS, Geographic Information System, how to use software to collect geospatial data, to do mapping, to analyze geospatial data to guide decision makings in environmental science and also in social sciences.
And how has the geography department changed since the massive impact of climate change in recent years?
Well, climate change is a very hot topic in our department. We have several faculty members doing research in this field. So what we focus on is how humans interact with climate change. So what's community resilience in climate change, in disasters, and also humans' response, humans' perception and adaptation to climate change.
Hello, I am here with Selena and Graydon. They are from the psychology department. So I hear that you guys were able to talk to a lot of students today.
Yeah, we've had a line for most of the morning.
That's really exciting. Psychology is a really popular field. So you are a grad student as well, and you also do advising?
I am an academic advisor for psychology, specifically.
Nice. So if a student is really interested in the field of psychology, not really know how to get started, what would they do?
So they would probably come talk to us, and that way we can kind of set them on the right path and set them up for success to, what direction they want to go in their career and different options that they have, different opportunities that we can suggest they take, just to essentially get them oriented to the directions they can go in psychology.
And Graydon, your specialty, your faculty and your specialty is in biopsychology, correct?
Cognition and behavioral neuroscience. So
That's really cool. So what kind of fields would people be in?
yeah, so there's a lot of diversity in what you can end up doing when you have a psychology degree. Usually the people who pursue kind of biopsychology might be interested in medicine, they might be interested in being sort of a psychiatrist, so an MD / PhD. There's also a lot of interest in sort of understanding the basic mechanisms of neurons and how thought works and how the brain works.
Do you guys have any suggestions for students who are kind of interested in the field?
I guess I would say work backwards, figure out what you want to do in your career, and then we can help you map out the steps you can take to get there. But I think that's the first step is whatever you want to do in psychology, figure out exactly what your aspirations are for your career and then make your degree work for you in that way.
Do you want to add anything?
I mean, I don't think I could say it better.
Yeah, that sounds like really great advice. Well, thank you guys so much for talking to us today.
It's Blake here live at the Manoa Experience, and I'm here with Noelle. Noelle, what brings you here to UH at the Manoa Experience?
I'm here just touring the campus, trying to see if this is the place that I want to come for college.
So how's the tour been going? What do you think about it?
It's going pretty good. I've seen a lot of things that I like here, and I think this is the place I'm going to be going.
Ooh, that's awesome. Well, so where are you from and how old are you?
I'm from California, Chino Hills. I'm 18. I just turned 18. What was your other question?
That was it.
Okay.
So what do you think you want to major in?
I'm not decided yet, but maybe fashion or nutrition.
Oh wow, yeah, I loved nutrition. Yeah, it was a really good class, but I'm a journalism major now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what do you think about all of this setup and all the broadcast
All of this
setup?
is pretty cool. I actually do have a YouTube channel. Shout out Noelle Pincus. Go follow me.
What type of channel is it?
It's basically a vlog channel, but I also have some skit vlogs in there where I'm robbing people and I'm stealing boats. It's pretty awesome.
Wow, you're very outgoing. That's awesome. Are there any other colleges that you're thinking about going to?
My hometown college, which is Cal Poly Pomona, I'm thinking about also going there, but I'd rather come to Hawaii, so.
Yeah, we'd love to have you here. And it was great meeting you and interviewing you. Thank you so much.
All right, so we're here at the economics table with Alex, who's actually a grad student right now. Alex, can you tell us a little bit about how you got here?
So I actually got my degree here at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I got my bachelor's in economics, and I'm currently studying as a master's in economics. And now I am the economic advisor for the undergrads.
So you must have loved it so much that you actually came back to get your master's. So why did you decide to do that?
Well, actually, to be honest, before getting my bachelor's, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, to study. So I chose economics because economics is actually very diverse. When you get a degree, you can do many things. You can go into corporate, or you can by the government. So I thought like, hey, it was really interesting. So why not go for my master's? That's why I chose to come back.
Were you first going to go into economics when you first started undergrad? Like that was like, I didn't know it was new, so it was immediately going to be economics.
No, actually, before economics, I was actually going for dentistry. But then I realized that wasn't really my passion. My passion was sort of like politics and kind of how the economy works. So yeah, that's why I chose economics, which was very broad.
So what's something you would say to students who are thinking about coming here?
To study economics? Well, I think we offer a lot of diverse classes here in the economics department for undergraduates. There's many things with a lot of sustainability, environmental things such as that, and there's a lot of Asian economic classes that we also offer here. I believe there's a lot of perspectives, especially since we're living here in Hawaii. So our economics department offers a lot of diverse topics.
What are some of the topics that you guys offer?
Well, the topics, as I said, were like Asian markets, Asian development, but also we have a special class called Ocean Economy, which also looks at fisheries and like also a bit of law into that as well. So there's a lot of interesting topics we have.
Awesome. So I see here at the booth you actually have a little social media Instagram photo thing.
Yes, we do.
That's awesome, so people can come take photos.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome, so make sure you make your way down here, take a photo. All right.
It's Blake here, and I'm here with Tasha and Elise. And what booth are you guys representing today?
We're representing PRSSA, so that's the Public Relations Student Society of America.
Wow, so what does it embody? What is it about?
It's like a pre-professional organization, and we're part of the communications department, and we like help with networking skills, building your own brand. We do a lot of career opportunities, professional development.
Nice, nice. So are you guys both comm majors?
Yes, we are.
We are, yep.
What do you guys love the most about communication?
I don't know.
For me, I think I was always that person that like didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I was older. So communications is just opening that wide door to like endless possibilities, which I love personally.
Yeah, there's so many options that you can do. Like when you graduate, you can basically work in any field as long as you can communicate well, because I feel like that's really necessary for jobs.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it sounds like a great organization. Thank you so much for letting me interview you, and I hope you guys have the great rest of your day.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so right here we have, what's your name?
I'm Michelle.
Hi, Michelle, where are you from?
I'm from Franklin, currently seniors.
Awesome, and so which major were you looking at in the tent?
For anthropology, specifically. I want to like learn about that field. I want to build that. I'm really passionate about history.
The what?
Like history and anything.
And so, did you see anything else you liked while you were there, though? I know you went just for anthropology, but did you like psychology, sociology, journalism, communications?
No, not yet. Just like anthropology in general.
So what do you plan on doing if you do major in anthropology with that major?
Honestly, I don't know yet. That's why I'm still exploring and learning.
And so, are you planning on coming here after you graduate?
Considering.
What's the other places to consider?
Hilo.
Okay, so still UH school, but so forever UH.
Yes.
Awesome, look at this, UH pride.
It's Blake here, and I'm here with Colin. Colin, what are you doing here at the Manoa Experience?
Well, I'm the director of the Public Policy Center and the Matsunaga Institute for Peace, so I just came by to check to see how everything is going.
Awesome. So how do you pronounce it, Matsunaga?
Matsunaga.
Matsunaga, what is that?
So it is the Peace Studies Center in the College of Social Sciences, and we work on community engagement, peace building, all sorts of things. And then the Public Policy Center is sort of the research arm, and we investigate the costs and benefits of a variety of different public policies that the state might want to adopt.
So are those just two separate jobs, or do those connect in a way?
They're the same job. So the Matsunaga Institute is inside the Public Policy Center.
Oh, wow, interesting. Okay, so do you teach any classes here?
I do, because I'm also a political science professor. So I teach most of the American politics courses, Hawaii politics, and I'm the political analyst for Hawaii News Now. So I get to be on TV a bunch too.
Wow. So how do you, if you do, how do you incorporate peace in your political science classes?
Well, I don't actually do so much of that in my classes. I mean, it's mainly more outreach stuff. There are other faculty in the Institute who do much more work on actual peace-building classes, like Maya Satoru-Ing, who's part of the Matsunaga Institute and also is President Obama's sister.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, well, that was great. Thank you for letting me interview you, and it was nice to meet you. Have a great day.
So PRSSA is actually a chapter within a national organization, and we focus on building PR skills for individuals interested in pursuing careers in the PR industry, as well as just building networking and branding skills for people who are going into the workforce after college.
That's really cool. And are you guys all social science majors?
Yes, we're all communications majors.
Oh, that's neat. And what kind of careers would you want after college, or are you all trying to go into PR as well?
Most of our students are looking for careers within the public relations industry, whether that's within nonprofits or government entities or corporations. Just anything that involves, advocating on behalf of an organization to the public is what most of us are interested in.
Is that what you three are interested in?
Yes, I'm particularly interested in public relations within the nonprofit sector.
Oh, okay, cool. What about you?
I really like marketing and crisis PR. Yeah.
I'm also interested in nonprofit PR.
That's very noble. And thank you for talking to me.
Yes, it was great speaking to you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's Blake here, and I'm with Kelly again. And Kelly, what class do you teach here that really is a big introduction to the community?
I think you're asking about COM 201, which
yes.
is Introduction to Communication. So that's the big Introduction to Communication Studies class that I teach every fall and spring. It's a big class. If you're coming from high school, it's 120 students all in one big lecture hall. But I really love teaching this class because we start way back in the history where it's okay, we figured out how to write things down, and then we figured out how to spread our message across the world. And so we talk about the beginnings of mass communication. So we start with print media, we talk about the printing press, we talk about newspapers, and then we talk about the invention of audio media, so radio. Then we talk about the recorded music industry, and then we get into television, movies, and then we get into the fun stuff. We get how the internet has changed everything. So we talk about social media, talk about how politics are completely different now, and so you kind of get a really broad view of what mass communication is and how the internet's changed everything. And then we also get into media literacy, so things like, what does it mean when Sunny D posts a tweet saying I just can't do it anymore? What does it mean when they're trying to sell you this orange drink and all of a sudden they're talking about how they're really depressed and all the other brands are like, are you okay? And so how they're trying to be our friends in order to sell us stuff. So we really start to dig into that. So if you really like being really critical about things, maybe the comm major is for you.
Yeah, wow. So what does that class embody? What does it tell students? Where does it lead students to further in the comm major?
So this is the introductory class, where you learn about the history of mass communication, and then you learn about where we're going next. And then you also are introduced to the 3 areas of specialization that we have. So we have communication communities, which is intercultural communication. So what happens if you are working for Coca-Cola and then you go into Japan and you don't translate things properly? I believe it's either Coca-Cola or Pepsi said that drinking this will literally bring your ancestors back from the dead. So you learn about all that sort of stuff. And then there's also public relations. So it's being really persuasive with your communication, so convincing people to buy this or convincing people to hey, let's say you have a client who did something really bad and kind of spin it. So that's communication communities. And then we have the communication technology stream. So you have classes with me where I talked earlier about video games. We have a class about social media. We have a class about the internet here in Hawaii. And then we also have the media arts track where you learn about how to make your own stuff, which I think is the most exciting, because it's you're being really critical about other people, so put your money where your mouth is and make your own media. So COM 201 introduces you to all those things. even if you don't become a comm major, you still learn a lot in this class about, you learn to question everything. You're like, what are they telling me? Why are they telling me that? And why aren't they telling me other things? So you learn to be really critical about everything, which is really fun.
Yeah, it's a very good life skill.
Yep.
Yeah, so the class where you can make your own art, is that where you learn things like Photoshop and InDesign?
Yep, so that's in the media arts track. So first you would take Com 310, which is an introduction to media arts, so a lot of film. And then we have a video production class, and then we also have a multimedia class, so things about like websites and interactive media. So you get to get your hands dirty and you get to make your own stuff.
So what would be the difference between, say, the film class in the communications department versus the film class in the ACM department?
That's a really good question. Let's see who's listening. So we do have a film school here on campus. It's the Academy of Creative Media. So the thing that's different between ACM and the communication degree is that so you take Com 201 with me, and then you do 310, 320, 330, and then you can kind of design your own class or design your own program. So you can take the video production class, you can take the multimedia class, and then you can also take the public relations class. You can take the video game class with me, and so you can customize it so it's exactly what your interests are. ACM is much more like highly focused on like becoming a filmmaker.
Okay, so that's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna talk to Alex over here.
So hi, I'm Alex. I am a current student of Mr. Schub's class right now, Com 201. Right now we're learning about, just finished with digital media, and now we're moving on to
we're gonna do public relations. Oh, we just talked about social media. We just talked about I just talked about the Sunny D tweet and what does it mean for like brands to pretend to be your friend on social media. And I see another one of my former students hiding off camera.
Hi. So, Dr. Bergstrom, tell us more about the Com 201 classes.
Well, I just talked about the Com 201 class.
Never mind. Tell us how you would like everyone to send in memes after every com class.
Okay. So I guess the class is getting somewhat more famous because for extra credit, you can make a meme about the thing that was the most interesting in the class the week before. You make a meme, and if I like it, I put it up on the board, I put it up on the screen, and then everyone else gets to laugh at it. So, how many memes did you make?
I'm going to be honest, I probably made 3 in the semester, but my other friend made one like every single week, and he's just so crazy for doing that.
I'm going to turn it back on you. What was your most memorable moment in Com 201 last semester?
What I love about Com 201 last semester is it's like a crash course of what communication is all about, especially with mass communication and everything, and that's from the class and taking it helped me to kind of go more into the comm program as a comm major.
Well, thanks everybody, that was great.
All right, so here we have Professor Gerald Cotto with us. And so what school are you with?
I'm with the School of Communications, which is part of the College of Social Sciences. I'm currently chair of the School of Communications. The School of Communications has a program in journalism and a program in communications. And we also, one of our specialties is media arts, which is providing some media arts training there.
So what were you doing before you were a professor?
Before I was a professor, I was a newspaper reporter with the Honolulu Advertiser. My specialty was covering government and politics. I subsequently went into television. I was a political reporter for KGMB and KITV television.
So what made you want to become a professor after doing all of that?
Oh, I wanted to do something different, and I thought that my background in both print and broadcast would be useful at the time. Keep in mind that this was prior to the internet, so I had a background in what constituted the media of the time, both television and print. So I wanted to put some of that background into teaching journalism. And above all things, I'm a graduate of the University of Hawaii way back when in the journalism program. So I thought I had something to contribute to the program and to my alma mater, the University of Hawaii.
So right now, I know news and media has a lot of heat on it right now with the political climate and everything that's going on. So what would you say to future journalist students who want to go into journalism but are a little hesitant because of the current situation with news, like fake news and everything like that?
Well, you know, news is changing, but this is an exciting time because there are lots of things that journalism has to offer in terms of investigative reporting, in terms of reporting on clear and accurate news. I think, you know, my background is in government and public affairs. I think there's a lot to be said for people doing government and public affairs, whether it's the traditional print or television media or other kinds of online operations that are springing up. There are all kinds of opportunities. Unfortunately, you know, the ups and downs of the traditional media seem to discourage people from the craft of journalism. But I think there's a lot to be said. It's a great future ahead if you want to, you're concerned and engaged in what's going on in today's world. And you're concerned about truthful news because the Washington Post says democracy dies in the dark.
That's right. All right, so I know you're also passing out these little goodie bags.
Yes.
Can you kind of tell us what's in there?
Yes, this is a School of Communication goodie bag. We're running short on them, so rush over here now. And in it, we have a little water bottle to remember us by. I think we hope students will consider majoring in journalism or communication. I think journalism and communication there's a bright future ahead, and with students committed to journalism and communication, and even brighter students ahead, both from Hawaii and the country.
Awesome. So if you want to get your little goodie bag, make sure you head over here. They are running out and they are reusable, so we are also saving the planet.
It's Jordan and I here back again, and we are at the Manoa experience, and it's been a crazy experience so far. We probably have an hour and a half, 2 hours to go.
Yeah, a little less than 2 hours, but you know, it's fun. There's a lot of people here. The turnout is pretty great.
Yeah, there's so many high schoolers, there's so many middle schoolers even, and they are loving the whole broadcast experience over here. We have 3 TVs, we have kids just reading off teleprompters and laughing and loving the TV and being on TV. And we see so many booths up and down the campus, and there has just been fun, and I think everybody's enjoying this experience right now. Jordan, how have you contributed to the experience today?
Well, if you've been watching since the beginning, I did some interviews with the people in the College of Social Sciences booth. I did women's studies, you know, about things that are in our department, but I didn't really know about it. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting I'm a journalism major and he's a comm major, and it's really interesting working the Manoa experience because speaking for both of us, I think we didn't really know much about the other departments in our college.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, and it's widened my horizons just interviewing and talking to, you know, the geography department and like the ethnic studies department. So that's been great. So what else?
After I got the chance to like kind of look around at the other things, it's really nice to see, you know, how everybody's tent is pretty unique from each other. Like even here, even though we have one big tent, it's more like mini exhibits. Like archaeology has the kind of digging site where you can kind of dig things up, and it's really nice. And then women's studies has the booths, you know, that, you know, they'll be happy to tell you everything you want to know about each major. And it's really nice that, you know, kids in high school can learn these things.
All right, this is Liam again at the Manoa Experience 2019. I have Jessica here, and she's willing to tell us a little bit about her involvement in the Manoa Experience 2019 today. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was here to help patrol the event, make sure the campus is safe, secure, help with the pedestrian traffic, and experience it for myself.
And we really appreciate it. And we were wondering if you could just tell us, for an incoming student coming here, could you tell us maybe your favorite thing to do on the island, your favorite beach or activity?
I like to go to the beach. My favorite is Caimanas. It's nice and clean, well, it used to be. And barbecue and surf, of course. Hike. I like hiking. That's about it.
And what's your favorite hike?
Willy Willy Nui.
That's a good hike. I've done that myself. All right. Well, thank you so much for answering our questions today. We're going to turn it back to the live studio.
It's Blake here again at the Manoa Experience, and I'm here with two communications professors. What are your guys' names?
So my name is Dr. Kelly Bergstrom, and I have a PhD in video games.
Wow! Wait, really?
Yes.
Wait, not communications?
Well, I am a communication professor, but I study video games.
Wow, that's amazing. So do you study like the animation of them, or like what they do to people's brains?
All of that. I study why people play. Right now I'm looking at why people quit playing games. So I'm really interested in people's leisure time, and so we're at this really interesting point where we're talking about games right now where we're past the point where it's like moral panic, playing video games is going to rot your brains. And it's like, oh, well, maybe playing video games will actually increase your like pro-social skills and like increase empathy and teach you about things that you won't necessarily see. And they're interactive narratives, so they make you feel really deeply about things when you're the one making the choices. So I'm interested in what happens in people's lives that they can't play games anymore. Sorry, I stole the show. I don't mind sharing.
No, that's really cool. I haven't met anybody that studies video games, so
Well,
that's awesome. Yeah. And what's your name and what do you teach?
I'm Jennifer Winter. I teach broadly in the area of communication technologies, including communication technology ethics and also the future of communication technologies. Things like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data, how those are creating a variety of social and policy challenges. And it's very, very exciting. I wasn't quite as enthusiastic as Kelly, but just trust me.
Yeah, so
if you take my class, you'll be very happy.
So what class is it again?
The class I'm teaching at the undergrad level right now is the capstone in communication and ICT and policy. And so that is actually like a senior thesis project, one of the 4 areas in the School of Comms that it has a capstone. I also teach in the fall COM 438, which is called Telecom in the Pacific Hemisphere. And that class, we start out by looking at the evolution of mobile devices and the internet, and we actually look into the future about 40 years and talk about what mobile devices will be like then. We also look broadly at a number of communication ethics issues that have arisen, typically with current topics that are happening often that week as things emerge, that deal with things like censorship, digital discrimination, the way in which big data, for example, can indiscriminately harm particular groups of people or individuals. And so we just bring things up as they come along. And we used to cover video games, but now we have Dr. Bergstrom, so that class doesn't talk as much about video games anymore.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you guys really love your jobs.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. So it's amazing where, so I teach digital cultures, which is a 300 level communication class. And so on Monday we're going to be talking about Momo.
Oh yeah.
And
creepy.
that creepy like internet meme where it's just like, it's a perfect example of a moral panic, like a techno panic where it's not real, but people are really freaked out. And a lot of people are making a lot of money about it.
It's very creepy.
It's like the fake news.
Yeah. Yes. It's a lot like fake news, but it's also, it's like those folk stories or like the urban legends, but on the internet, and they spread so much faster. So actually in both of our classes.
So like Reddit.
Yes.
Reddit. She's
Yes.
with Reddit.
Yes, yes,
She
I-
actually has one of the earliest papers on Reddit and one of the most highly cited, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she says we're also scholars, of course. So we bring our scholarship into the classroom. I also teach a summer class, which has now been renamed Communicating Sustainability. And that's going to be an online class this summer, COM 325, which is a writing intensive, where basically we use a transmedia approach to tell stories to particular audiences about sustainability in such a way that we hope we can motivate actual meaningful action about some of the pressing issues we face there.
Wow, that's great. So if anybody wants to take their classes, come enroll at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Thank you so much, you guys. Hey guys, it's Blake here again, and we're at the Manoa Experience 2019, and we only have one more hour left. And so if you're in the neighborhood or around and you want to come to the Manoa Experience, get on over here because it's been such a great day and you just don't want to miss out, especially if you're a student, a high school student wanting to go to UH. There are so many opportunities and colleges that you can check out and, you know, make connections. It'll be fun to just meet students that could potentially be coming here and, you know, start making friends. And so here at the Communications and Journalism Department, we have all of these TVs. There's Sherry, there's Tyne, and they are working with the live stream, and now I'm gonna interview Sherry. She's the best. She's the one who controls this whole booth and does everything for us students. So Sherry, what have you been doing today?
I think I got a few more grays in my hair today because this is a big setup we're doing here today. But my team is really good. In fact, let's get my whole team over here. Everybody come back to the tent so we could get a nice shot of the whole team that's doing this live telecast, I guess we would call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big setup. We actually just bought this unit to do the live streaming, and it's been a learning curve for me. I've never really done this kind of thing before, but we did it on Maui at the beginning of the semester, and it's very exciting. I love it. You don't have to edit anything, but you have to be careful not to say the wrong thing either, right? So how's it been going for you today? Have you been interviewing a lot of nice people?
Yeah, I've been interviewing a lot of nice people and a lot of incoming students that are just wanting to check out all the booths, and I think they really liked our booth with all of the teleprompter reading, and yeah, it's been really exciting. It was my first Manoa experience. So it's been good. How does it feel to, you know, do the first live stream at the Manoa Experience?
I think that, you know, people come up and they're immediately drawn to the screens we have back there, and they're like, oh, what's on this screen? Come back. So we have the 3 screens back there, and then people are like, what's on that screen? What's on that screen? What's on that screen? So we have the live streaming on the screen, and then so once they understand that, they think it's really cool. Yep. Okay. Let's come in here. Here's one of our top producers, Tyne.
Tyne, what are you doing right now?
Right now I'm producing the live stream, so I'm kind of telling everybody, directing them what to do and, you know, where to go. So it's very interesting. We have this thing called Sling Studio that we use for the live stream, and so we actually do our whole live stream off of this one tiny device with an iPad. So it's pretty awesome.
And Roxanne, what have you been doing?
I've been trying to get people interested and just trying the broadcasting station where they get to read a teleprompter and just try what it's like to be in front of the camera.
And Doris?
Awesome. Doris, what have you been doing here today?
I've been working the audio, making sure all the talents are clear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what have you been doing today, Brianna?
I did some camera work in the morning, and now I'm kind of partnering with Roxanne and helping to get people to the tent. So yeah, it's been a great day so far.
Awesome. Yeah, so as you can see, this production doesn't, you know, get put up alone. We have to have a lot of team and a lot of teamwork and collaboration to make this thing happen. So we all love each other here at the Communications and Journalism Department.
My name is Liam. I'm a sophomore. I am a journalism major, but I did switch my major, which is very common in college. So any of you viewers who are unsure about what you want to do and can't really decide on a major, that's totally fine. You have 4 years to decide. I definitely would consider the College of Social Sciences. They have some wonderful programs in there, including journalism and communications, which I am a part of. And you're welcome to come by the tent and have all your questions answered by the wonderful Media Lab. Yeah, so we are going to actually cut over to Blake, who has another experience for your UH Manoa campus experience. All right, we are going to cut over to Blake. Blake?
Hi guys, it's Blake. Blake here, and I'm with Donna. Donna, what are you doing today here at the Manoa Experience?
Well, I am here with Manoa Dining Services, and we're at the meal plan tent. That's right next to student housing tent, and we're talking to parents and students about the meal plans and what kind of foods that we have on campus.
Wow, so are you guys talking about nutritional value, or are you just talking about, say, like just the types of foods, restaurants?
Mainly about the types of foods, but I'm also a registered dietitian, so I've gotten to speak to a couple of parents who have students coming. How we can accommodate their food allergies.
Yeah. So, what's the most common food allergy that is brought here to the university?
There are all kinds of allergies. The more challenging ones can maybe be gluten-free. I talked to someone today with a soy allergy. There's dairy, eggs. What else? Nuts, peanuts, tree nuts.
Yeah. I actually have a gluten allergy, and I was in the dorms last year, and I can personally say that they really accommodated for me and, helped my meal plan, and it was actually really nice. So thank you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked that way.
Yeah. So are you done with your booth today?
I was actually checking my food service operations because I know we have Starbucks open, and I know maybe half an hour ago it was really crowded, so I wanted to check and see how they're doing right now, so that's where I was walking to.
Oh, awesome. Well, it was great meeting you, and I hope you had a great day today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Archaeology is a sub-branch of anthropology. Anthropology is the holistic study of human beings. Archaeology specifically looks at material remains from the past and tries to infer human behavior from that. So we don't have a perfect record of the past, so we use the garbage that people left behind to say something about how they lived.
That's really interesting to use like the garbage of how. That's really cool. So if we're talking about Hawaii, where exactly could you use an archaeological degree?
In Hawaii, we have a big private sector, so anytime that there is development, state or federally permitted, archaeologists have to go in to make sure nothing gets ruined. So they'll check for any cultural properties, they'll check for anything underneath the surface before any development occurs. Most of the archaeology that gets done is actually associated with those types of issues. In addition to that, you have the national parks and state parks that employ archaeologists quite frequently. So there is a broad job market for those particular majors in the state today.
That's really cool. Well, thank you for talking to me for a little short time.
All right, so we're live. We're live with Laurel from Ethnic Studies. Laurel, tell us more about Ethnic Studies.
So Ethnic Studies was founded in 1970. It's a product of community struggles in Hawaii, where communities came together and said, we want UH to teach our history our way. So we're really committed to addressing social justice in Hawaii, environmental justice, economic justice, racial justice, and really kind of developing our skills and analysis to apply to the complex problems that Hawaii is facing today.
So do you guys have any abroad or internship opportunities for prospective students?
Yeah, we work really closely with the program of service learning and civic engagement. It's also known as the Access Program. So we really facilitate students to go into communities, Malama Aina work in particular, and working with various nonprofits in Hawaii. One of them is Palolo Pipeline Project. We work with various lo'i and farms. So we do a lot of applied learning out in the community around the island of Oahu.
If there's people who want to do an online kind of course, do you guys have online available? How many would you say,
We have online courses available, so this is definitely an option for students. I can't tell you the exact number of them, but I know that there's several a semester and our offerings are growing every semester.
Can they get a full degree online, or is it just certain courses?
That's a really good question. I don't think we currently have an online degree program, although there are definitely discussions about that.
Awesome. So what kind of jobs do people get with an ethnic studies major?
So some of our students, while they're college's student, they intern with IKEA, which is a Unite Here organization. So some people become community organizers, teachers, social workers, lawyers. Some go into grad school and get master's and doctorate degrees, and they themselves become professors. So ethnic studies is a really important degree for multicultural, multiracial education, learning critical thinking skills, writing, and those types of skills can be applied to many different types of jobs.
Awesome. So what's one thing you would say to any students who are thinking about it but are a little on the fence?
I think that our classes are the most engaging and exciting and interesting, probably compared to a lot of the courses that are offered at UH. All of our teachers are really amazing and supportive, and kind of are committed to interactive education. And it's also a pretty doable major in terms of the amount of credits that we ask for. I think it's possible to kind of complete all the requirements within just like a couple of years. So it's a really good major and it's practical. It can fit into your schedule.
So I'm Professor Scott Schimmel, and I teach in the School of Communications, and mostly courses within our media arts curriculum. And for research, I am what you would call a creative academic. So in addition to teaching, I make documentary films.
Wow, that's very interesting. So what type of subject is on your current or latest documentary film?
So I'm currently in talks with the Fish Pond Practitioners, which is an organization of Hawaiians who are restoring their fish ponds around the state, and to be able to go and document their upcoming conference in Molokai in May.
Wow, that seems very interesting. So what process goes into making a documentary, and what type of crew do you have to create and get to be able to produce an amazing piece of art?
So it really depends, right? Some filmmakers work with really large crews. So maybe more like National Geographic would go to a story with a crew of 10 people. Whereas my style of documentary filmmaking is a little more verite and observational. And so we typically work with very small crews, 1, 2, maximum 3 people. Right, and a great reason why is, so I had a friend who was working on a film on the same story that National Geographic was in the same town, and they were able to get much more access because they were much less intimidating with a crew of only 2 people versus Nat Geo's crew of 10 people. And they beat them to the punch, and it really worked out for them. Their film played at Sundance and nationally on public television.
Wow, so have you put any of your documentaries or got them into any other film, what are they called?
Festivals.
Film festivals, sorry.
Yeah, so my films have played at festivals. They have educational distribution and have played on public television. So.
Is there any educational distribution for the University of Hawaii?
So actually, yeah, we do have some faculty who, one of their wives works for Alexander Street Press, which is one of the distributors of educational video. So educational video is just one form of distribution. So film festivals are often a way of self-distribution. Sometimes you might have a partner like PBS who will distribute your film to PBS stations across the country. Other times you distribute these days with Amazon, Netflix, iTunes, right? Educational distribution is a special form of distribution. Their target market with an educational distributor is universities, basically. So it's really great for me to know that my work not only influences my students here, but through educational distribution can have an impact on students around the country.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what is it like being a professor and, having the side hustle, as they would say, in making documentaries? Is it stressful? Is it just what you love to do?
Yeah. So what's really interesting is not even really a side hustle. It's like part of my job, right? So they break down my job as a professor in several ways, right? One is teaching, one is research or creative work, and the other is service to the university. So about 40% of my job is teaching. The other 40% is making my films, and then serving the universities the remaining 20%.
Oh wow, that's great. Okay, that's a great job.
It's a great job.
Yeah, wow.
I have to make films. I love it.
Hi, it's Blake here at the Manoa Experience, and I'm here with two students that are from the University of Hawaii that are about to graduate in 2019. What are your guys' names?
I'm Tyne.
Tyne.
I'm Jim.
Jim, and what are you guys graduating from?
Journalism.
We're both journalism.
Nice, nice. So what has your experience been like for the past 4 years?
It's been a ride, definitely. I've studied journalism since my freshman year, so I definitely grew up in the program. I was actually able to go off to my own little makeshift study abroad where I did online courses for my sophomore year, and so I was able to go and do what I want. I got an internship in New York for journalism, so it was really nice because they're really flexible with like your schedule. They really encourage internships, which was something that was like super huge to me. So then I was able to go and intern at different places. So I've actually had an internship almost every semester that I was here, which was really nice.
Wow, yeah, that is crazy. I've never heard of any other department that, you know, influences students like that. So that's awesome. So what brought you or led you to the journalism department?
I've always wanted to write, but then I don't know what kind of writing that I want to do, but I thought that journalism is gonna be more impactful to people. That's why I chose journalism.
Nice, nice. Okay, so these are going to be 2019 graduates at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And so let's just congrats them, right? Congratulations!
Hi, and I'm here with the Associate Dean, Ross Sutherland. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Nice. So how do you feel about the turnout here at the Manoa Experience?
So far it looks pretty good. I think the College of Social Science has done a lot of effort to put us in a good position for students to come by and to show what we actually do.
Yeah, it's really, like, the booths look really well done. I feel like it's a really good job. So what's your job in the Department of Social Sciences?
I'm the Associate Dean of the College of Social Sciences. I've been Associate Dean since 2010. Before that, I was Chair of Geography for 4 years. So I've been at University of Hawaii Manoa since 1990, so I've been here for a while.
That's longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah. So what's your like education background?
My education background, I'm from Canada. I did my PhD in the University of Toronto. I worked in East Africa for a year and a half working on sediment transport and erosion. Then from that I went to University of Saskatchewan to work in the soil physics department, working on radioisotopes and soils. Then I interviewed here in 1990 and I accepted the job and I've been here ever since.
That's really cool. You've kind of been like a pretty good amount of places. It's really cool. It's really cool. So do you have any plans to do while you're here, or you just?
I'm the associate dean for another year or so and see where it takes us. But the dean unfortunately couldn't make it today. She's been here at all of these for a number of years. She's been dean for 7 years, and I've been working with her for that length of time. And she has a whole variety of new initiatives going on. That's very exciting. Time to be part of the College of Social Sciences.
That's great.
Hi, it's me, Blake, here, and I'm with Chris, and he is with the Bishop Museum working with the Archaeology Department here at the University of Hawaii at Manoa at the Manoa Experience. What are you doing with the high school and middle school students here, looking at all the departments, and what makes them want to come over here and work with you?
Well, I'm actually demonstrating what's called flint knapping, making stone tools. It's part of experimental archaeology. It's a process of doing this. We understand what's coming out of the ground as we excavate. And it's just a lot of fun to do. People are fascinated by it. Breaking rocks is fun.
Yeah, so is it something like a stone ad?
Adzes are fun to make. We're going for arrowheads just because that's the type of material we have. It's best for making arrowheads and things like that.
And what were arrowheads used for back in the day?
Back in the day, primarily hunting and warfare. So attach it to the front of a spear point or arrow point or arrow stick and shoot it at whatever you're trying to kill.
Wow, so do you mind showing us over
Sure.
here? Awesome, thanks.
So I'm using mahogany obsidian out of Mexico, and you can use either traditional instruments, which I always show for display, but aren't that great, or you can use modern metal instruments. And all we're basically doing is trying to get this piece down to a manageable size that we can actually turn it into a tool. Through experience, you look for the right spot, and then you just go after it. So in this case, we're going to go right here. And just take off pieces. Eventually we'll whittle them down to a final finished piece, which I had one here earlier, but somebody took it.
Oh, is this one? Is that
No,
close?
This was close. This was what one of the kids was working on. This is a little bit too thick and chunky to actually strap onto anything and shoot it, but this is pretty much what we're making. What I'm going for is about this big, but only about that thick. So much thinner than what we have here. This stuff gets very, very sharp. Still used in surgeries today. This cutting edge is sharp enough to cut through any hide, and ocular surgeons will still use obsidian today for their surgeries because it's sharper than steel.
Wow. So, what type of animals did humans, well, what were we made, these Neanderthals?
Oh no, these would have been made up until the invention of metal and smelting. So up until within the last 3,500 to 4,000 years, this would have been your primary way to make any type of tool, to do anything you needed. Anything from hunting something with a spear or bow and arrow to processing a hide or cutting down a tree. This is what you would have to go through, this entire process. Some cultures just would nap and knock this down to shape and they would be finished. Other cultures would knock it into a rough shape and then grind it into their final shape. And that's what you see a lot here in Hawaii with the big adzes that they would make. Beautiful polish on them, and that what they would do is hack it into shape, a rough shape, and then grind it into the final shape. With stuff like this and back on the mainland prehistorically, they wouldn't do that nearly as often as they do here. But also they don't have this type of material here in Hawaii. So.
Yeah. So where, that's obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you find that mainly?
Anywhere near a volcano, pretty much. Anywhere where there's prehistoric volcanic activity or even modern. Basically what it is lava that cooled very, very quickly and didn't have time to form any crystals. So it's basically one giant crystal of sorts. Yeah, anywhere volcano, except from Hawaii. There's no obsidian here on the islands. There's volcanic glass, but it's just not as good a quality.
So where do you know what other islands you can find obsidian?
There's, let's see, Samoa, Tonga, I'm pretty sure. I think Fiji does as well. They have obsidian there, but for some reason it's not here, just the geologic makeup.
So it's quite rare in a way?
Depending on where you are.
Okay, yeah.
If you're in somewhere like New Mexico, it's everywhere. Oregon, it's everywhere. You go to the middle of mainland America and you won't find any obsidian for hundreds of miles. So all depends on where you are.
Yeah. So, what would you say to students that want to be an archaeologist or somebody that wants to go into the anthropology department?
It's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of work. The best advice I could give is find something you like about archaeology, follow it, and definitely go to a field school during the summer. Once you can go to a field school, if you realize you actually enjoy working outdoors and digging, then you know you're meant to be an archaeologist. If you don't know you're ready to dig yet, I wouldn't go into archaeology.
Okay.
It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. It sounds like a very time-consuming, long process just to find anything, you know? So, wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, it's Blake here at the Manoa Experience, and I'm here with Julian Gorbach. Julian, what are you doing here today?
Well, I'm trying to talk to prospective students, high schoolers, and the like about our journalism program. Hopefully spark their interest, inspire their interest, or encourage their interest.
That's awesome. So what class do you teach here at the university?
I teach journalism skills classes and classes on media history and classes on the media in general. Teach news literacy, an introduction to news writing. I've taught multimedia. I'll end up teaching probably our capstone, and I teach our graduate students how to study media.
That's awesome. So why should students, like high school students, come here and be a journalism major?
Well, I mean, our society I mean, on a certain level, our society needs journalists. We need to foster an informed and engaged discussion among the people about what's going on, and we need to expose the truth about what's going on to the people so that they can make informed judgments about their leadership, and they can also hold both the politicians and the companies and everybody else in our society accountable. And then also because there's the big creative side to producing journalism. There's a lot of our students who want to learn how to be storytellers. And so both the creative and the kind of making a difference mission are both equally important to me.
Yeah, I agree with that, as I'm a journalism major, but that's great.
Hi, I'm here with Kamalani, and she's an ambassador for the College of Social Sciences. So could you explain a little bit about what that means?
So being an ambassador means you're serving your student body and you're promoting the clubs that you have in your department.
And how would students get involved with that?
You just apply through the College of Social Sciences application online, or you can contact any of your department leaders.
What do you really like about being an ambassador?
I get to meet new people like you guys and the students here, and I get to promote all the clubs and the events that we have to engage students in.
And do you have any advice for any prospective students to get involved with it?
That you should really think about it like ahead of time to get involved, because in the long run it pays off and it looks really good on your resume.
It's Blake here again, and I'm here with Nue. Nue, what department are you with?
Well, I am with the social sciences, and right now at this particular table, I am with the Sparky Matsunaga Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution.
That's amazing. So what do you guys do here?
Well, basically what we're doing is we're just bringing awareness to the different programs that we have in the Institute in this particular umbrella. It's all about peace, conflict resolution. We also have a scholarship that's available for Peace Scholars. I was one of the scholars for 2018, and upon that venture you get to go to Norway for 7 weeks. It's an amazing adventure. It's an amazing experience. That's one of the things that we deal with in our particular corner of the woods. And then we also have a aspect for the Peace Corps. So if it's something that you want to do to give back to the community and to service those around that are less fortunate, there's also degree programs. There's an undergraduate certificate, which I'm actually completing this semester, as well as an upper graduate certificate. So it's an amazing program. It brings awareness to peace, how you handle conflict. Dialogue is very important. So that's kind of all encompassed within our program.
So it seems that it's more of starting on a personal level, having peace with yourself and with other people, so you can spread it then to the outside world.
I think everyone's journey is different. For me, I have a very chaotic life, and so I was just looking for some skills that would allow me peace, so inner peace. However, I know other people who are very secure in where they are. They feel that they understand that and now want to push it out. So very different beginnings, but I think the end result is everybody wants to find peace, find out what it means, and then all of the work that involves getting there is really important. It's very different for everyone. You have a positive piece and you also have negative piece. And so it just gives you the tools. It gives you different avenues. There's so many classes, restorative justice being one, nonviolent social change, education to bring peace into the educational movement. So there's so many avenues and veins that you can explore with peace, because peace, I think what you're saying as far as it being personal is very correct, but everyone starts at a different place.
All right, we're here with the whole entire team that put on this live stream. This has been a great day.
School of Communications,
Media
Lab,
and
Aloha! So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who works on this today. We have our camera people, we have our Media Lab staff, we have our capstone students from journalism, we have our communication students, we have our faculty and our chair. We have a whole team of people who brought this first time ever live from the Manoa experience to here. And did we have fun, everybody? If you didn't get a chance to come down here and see us live, you can go on to the College of Social Sciences website at Hawaii EDU, the College of Social Sciences, Hawaii EDU. You can check out all the wonderful degrees and programs that we have to offer in the College of Social Sciences. And to all of us, what do we want to say? Aloha!